Hello, everybody. What is up? What is up? What is up? What is up? Chloe's grandpa, or Rich, whichever you prefer to call me. How are y'all doing today? Oh, it is one of those days that it stormed early, and I was outside before the sun came up. Couldn't really see anything rolling in, but you could feel it. You could feel the breeze picking up, the coolness of the air coming, because it was kind of warm. And, well, it was very warm actually. But you could feel the coldness coming in, the breeze, smell it, like fresh air coming. And then it got too chilly for me to be outside. Look at storms in a whole new light now, but that's okay. That is a beautiful thing because storms. Let's talk about that for a little bit. But today, what we're doing is we're going to talk about storms. Um, what we're doing is we're sorting through all these tools. From last night's live, if you watched it, my friend Wanda, my sister Wanda, and her son Eli, my nephew, gave me a toolbox that belonged to Eli's dad. Eli's dad was a mechanic, motorcycle mechanic, car mechanic, truck mechanic, blah, 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 mechanic. Okay, and this is what's left of his tools. They gave me his whole toolbox, which when I get the money, I'm going to get WD-40 and start spraying it down and keep it sprayed down and try to work everything and get it all back to working condition because I really like that toolbox. It is the perfect size for what I need. So I decided to clean it all out and dump it here in the middle of the dining room table. And I'm going to sit here and go through it, and I'm not going to walk around in the weather today. I feel great. I feel fantabulous. But I ain't going outside. No, 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 no. So we're going to sort through this, and then I had an idea. I'm going to try to get doubles of everything so that I have a set there and a set there. But I'm sure that I will end up with triplets of things. And those triplets of things, because I already do have some tools, I just don't have wrenches and screwdrivers and pliers. I have some sockets, but I also have a brand new socket set for Christmas from my brother-in-law and my sister. So, sockets I'm good, but I want to get a second set of those put together also. I want to do the same thing with wrenches and screwdrivers so that I'm not my mind forgets things and I lose things and, I left it out there and then I go back there and it's not there. And then I have no idea where it is and I never see it again. But we're going to separate stuff because there's things I want to save, like springs and hose clamps, points. Will I ever need these points? No, probably not. But you know what? I'm going to keep them in a Ziploc bag. And if I ever have a need for them, there they are. I don't know if they're the same as on a lawnmower. I doubt it. I know that condenser that I found yesterday is. So, you know what I mean? Then there's fittings. I don't know what they are. Do I keep this? A brass bushing of some sort? Maybe if I find another one, I'll set it over here. So I've just decided to talk about stuff today. But what I realized about storms is they used to just make me feel bleh. They used to match how I felt inside. And I as many of us, the weather has a lot to do with our mood. But there's beautiful things about storms. Like when a storm's rolling in, the smell of it, the feel of it, the change of the air. You know, there's just the wind of storms coming in and the way the sky looks and the way things look and sound, and it's cool. And then the storm hits, and there's beautifulness in the storm, and power, and you know what I mean? In all of that, there's beauty in all of it, and awesomeness, right? But storms are also scary and can be terrifying unless you're protected, which I give when I'm in my storms, I just give everything to God because He's going to figure it out for me, or He's going to give me what I need to figure it out, which happens sometimes. But in that storm, you know it's going to get better. But in the storm, it doesn't feel like it's going to get better at all. It feels worse, and some storms just get worse and worse and worse, and you start to lose faith that it's going to get better or you're going to make it through it. And then, poof, you're through it. And after the storm, the smell. Granted, there's water everywhere. In some cases, flooding and tragic things happen, which happens with storms. I think these springs are for inside an engine. I don't know if I'm ever going to need these, but those are going to go in coffee can because Grandpa always had a coffee can. Wrenches are going to go into this tray for right now. And miscellaneous things like this are going to go in here. I have a bag for I guess that wouldn't matter. Hose clamps can go in there. Yeah, that's a reducer of some sort. Condenser can go in there. But even after all of the devastation, I saw it when I was in New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina. With all the flooding, there was just horrid things and smells and things that happened after that kind of storm. But I was there long enough to see other things. Like fields that when we got there were just barren and just destroyed by the water and the rain and the wind and trees down. I saw tugboats in woods, just like that weren't there before. But something else I saw when it was about time for me to go is that field that when I first got there was devastating. All the trees were gone. All the grass was down. There was nothing. And then when the trees were standing, there was boats and just all kinds of stuff. You couldn't. And I was only there for a couple of months. Extension, I don't know. But before I left, there was chaos because things had fallen apart. FEMA was by that time, FEMA wasn't doing with their part or what they were supposed to be doing or said they were going to do, and not paying people and people not getting paid and getting messed over by their bosses, and it was getting to be chaos. But that field on the bus ride out, same field I saw on the way in, there were like 6-foot bushes everywhere, flowers, trees, like, trees that had shot up. Granted, they were only like 3 feet tall. Some of the smaller trees were standing back up, and it looked beautiful. And then I sit here out my window, and I don't get storms like that. I'll sit and watch a storm, and it'll roll by, and it'll be right there or over there. I don't get storms like a lot of people in my area do. But even after a big storm, like I got a limb down in my yard I haven't looked at or messed with yet. There's puddles of water everywhere. And the next day when the sun's out, the birds are in the puddles of water bathing and drinking, and just all kinds of birds coming from all over the place. And then the grass looks a little greener, because we're just over winter. So the grass is starting to look greener. It's starting to, what are they? Daylilies or whatever, them yellow ones that always come out everywhere around Easter time. They're starting to sprout up. I forget what kind of dumb, ugly flowers those are that are taking over everything, but they're starting to pop up from the ground. I do not know what this is. I have zero idea. A tap of some sort, maybe. I don't know. But we will set that in the junk drawer. We need a junk drawer bag. So this is the stuff that we're going to put in the junk drawer. Alright. That's garbage. Not building any type of... I can't say it on YouTube. But it was a cap for a pipe, if you know what I'm talking about. No, I don't need that. That is a plug. That could come in handy. Sockets. And then, you know what I mean? And as the temperatures get warmer later, everything reacts differently to the storm. Even in wintertime when we have them blizzards and all that snow and the cold and the wind and all of that, when that storm's over, the birds are out and the squirrels are out. Well, the birds that stay in the season. You know what I mean? There's life out there, and you can see it. Even right after the storm. So every storm for the rest of my life, I'm going to see a certain beauty in it. And that's a reason to smile. Because I have faith in God that whatever storms I'm going through, they're going to be over. And there may be destruction afterwards. It may take a while to heal. But we heal from those storms. Some of those storms are caused by us because, I'll say it all the time, we are our own worst enemy. And people say, no, it's my past. Well, here's why I say I know what this is. Surprisingly enough, this is a shim for a starter. GM, I think. I know what that is. That's incredible. I feel like I should hear a crowd. Yeah! But regardless of anything, whatever season it is, after the storm, there is beauty. There's a reason for the storm. There's growth after the storm. Is that not crazy to think about that way? Instead of just being, oh gosh, there's a storm. Let's batten up the windows and lock the doors. What if all you had to do for your storm is to stand on it, stand in it? What if you saw your beauty in the middle of the storm, as well as before the storm and after the storm? So my question is the storm a thing of beauty to you if you look at it in certain perspectives? Or is a storm just what it is, a storm? Because I know storms can be life-saving. Like a non-storm, like a drought all across the season, all across the country, would decimate. So we need storms to grow, to replenish. Not all storms are there to destroy us. No matter how severe the storm feels, I do not know what that is, but I know what they used it for. And I do not have that need. It was like a rod with a point. They used to use it as a tap, you know what I mean, to mark things. Old school. But because now this might be handy. It's a little plastic insert with a screw on the one end and for a rubber hose on the other end. So I am going to spend every one of my storms enjoying it, because I know that I'm going to get through said storms. I know that there's something greater on the other side of the storm, on the other side of the storm. For those who didn't know, little thing to change the valve stem inserts. But yeah, and for me, as a Christian, and hopefully for you, I see that God is the one that is in control. So the storms I'm going through are to help me grow, okay? Which, if you're not a Christian, I'm sorry. But I feel that God is putting me through certain storms so that I can learn things and I can grow and I can, ooh, look at that little tiny file. I hope it ain't destroyed. Yeah. Little tiny Allen wrench. I don't know. But I'm going to do my best to find the beauty in my storms and the lessons that God's trying to teach me in them. Because there's beauty before the storm. Because right before the storm hits, man, things are going good. And then the storm hits and things are going horrible. And then after the storm, there'll be beauty again. I'm just going to work at finding the beauty in the storm, as well as before and after. And the beauty after, the lesson that I learn after, is all about growth. This is a break part. I believe that's a break part. I'm never going to be doing breaks. Well, I can't say never because somebody once told me never say never, and I've learned that lesson. But in the foreseeable future of holding on to said tool like this, now, but storms, keep your faith. God will get you through and see the beauty in the storm. And, well, that's garbage. And God will get you through it. Whether you can see it or not, God is going to get you through it. You just got to learn something from it. Yeah, that one's garbage. Yeah. I want to save that to trade. All right, enough of that. Now, the tools. The reason why I say I want at least 2 sets is because if you don't have 2 sets of tools, I don't know what that is. Because that way I can have a set here and a set downstairs and a set in the shed. So I'm still going to be needing tools. So what I'm thinking about doing is taking the tools that I have, a second and a third, little shorty, Phillips, what I have in excess of, beyond a second set, I could trade with that tool guy possibly. No. And get tools that I need. Possibly. I'm not saying that's a guaranteed thing, but it's something he might go through, or at least give me, 50% off that day of stuff I buy, and I can buy twice as much of stuff that I need. You know what I mean? If that makes sense to you. And if you've hung out this long with me yammering about stuff that invades my brain, then thank you. Speaking of thank you, I just do want to thank you guys for everything. For all the love, for all the support, because I am just an idiot talking to my phone about my problems, my insanity, my insecurities, I'm really good at this one, my immaturities. In a lot of ways, I'm immature, and I understand that now, and yeah, but anyways, big old hook. Let's see, we got a ratchet here. Does it work? It's rusty, and no, it does not. Maybe. Maybe. It's maybe a trade tool, a trader. You know what I mean? Something to trade, something to trade. Swivel with a 7/16 on the end. That could be a crucial thing. Bolt, 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 bolt. Weird bolt, but a bolt nonetheless. Unsure. No, don't need. Bad. Oh, look at that. Y'all remember that? Finding all kinds of old school stuff in here. We don't need it. I was just saying, do you see it? See, what is this? Mystery goo? No, sir. I should sell that on eBay. A tube of mystery goo. We have a tube of apply this on friction material of your brakes. It's probably what that other thing was. But I'll find it, but I got a screwdriver that's similar to this, but it's this end that is just completely bent over like that. That's funny. I found that very humorous. I want to kind of look at the bolts. I don't want them to be all rusty, trusty, crusty. That's an odd thing. Look, it's got fine thread on one end and coarse thread on the other end. That's kind of a cool thing. Don't know what it'd be used for, but if I ever need it, I got it. Because you never know. Wait, no, that one is good. I had one with a bolt on it, or a nut on it that was not. Okay, those are still good. Another springy dingy. Springy dingy. Springy dingy. Ooh, that's a tough one. That's a tough spring right there. If you don't know what I need springs for, accelerator pedal. Ooh, very interesting. Broke. But yeah, I am doing great. I have my vision of happiness and my goal that I want to contain in, well, I'm not giving myself a time limit for it, but I realized my goal, what I want. So, and no, I'm not telling you what it is. There's a reason for that. Check this out. Those that know, it is for checking your antifreeze to see what good it's protected to. I know, I gave it away. Sorry, I wanted to keep that separate. I know I gave it away. Can't have a guessing game if I tell you what it is, right? I'm not good at that. I may be good at a lot of things, but I'm also not good at more. Well, that's spiderweb or nest. That's probably not good. But it is what it is. But I'm just going to continue to go through this. And I'm sure that it's not that interesting. And neither is hearing me talk. So I'm going to get off here and let you guys do what you guys are doing. You have a fantabulous day. I like that word. That's my word of the day, fantabulous. All right? Go out there, do something to make yourself happy. Make somebody else happy, make a kid happy. In your storms, keep the faith so you can learn your lesson and see the beauty. All right? Just try it. See if it works for you. I enjoyed it. All right? Whatever you do something to make the Lord happy. All right? Have a great day. God loves you and so do I. Bye.